If you struggle with making decisions, watch this. So, this is not no trick. This ain't no technique. This is alignment, right? So, a lot of people, a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I know, I noticed that, they struggle when making decisions, or they're always going like in and out, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, or they're going back and forth with what decision we should make, which, I understand. I used to be like that. I used to be a big overthinker, quote unquote overthinker. I used to always question my decisions and not feel confident or certain in the decisions that I do make, and, it would always kind of attack me later on. But, once I realized that decisions should never be made from a right or wrong basis, right? Decisions should always be made from a feeling basis, right? Now, let me explain, right? When they're coming from a decision or anything of that matter from a right or wrong basis, you're searching for an answer. You're searching for a solution, right? You're looking for, okay, this is the right path, this is the wrong path, black and white, right? And when you look at it that way, there's always going to be a right and a wrong, right? So you're always, not only are you giving energy to the right, you're also giving energy to the wrong. So when you make decisions in that kind of uncertain way, it's like you won't get the full benefit of that decision in a way. Now, let me explain. Like, if I'm saying, okay, there's a right and a wrong, I'm automatically focusing on, okay, I don't want to make the wrong decision, right? And I kind of have a clear image in my head of what the wrong decision is, right? And I'm kind of trying to avoid that, right? I'm like, this is the right one. I don't want to do that, right? What it essentially it's doing is it's giving energy to actually both paths, right? And even if I make a right or wrong decision, quote unquote, or I choose one path, it's always going to kind of bring that energy with me, right? So you're kind of getting both best of both worlds, or I should say the worst of both worlds, actually, because you're bringing that wrong energy and that right energy. And it's kind of going to be like a intensity type, more like up and down type scenario or circumstance that you do manifest, right? So that's why we want to stay away from that right or wrong basis, and we want to go into the feeling basis, right? How we feel, right? Because at all times our heart is guiding us, right? Our heart is always guiding us, and it's not guiding us in a way of like, okay, if you do this, this is wrong. If you do that,